Well, up, everyone, you already know what it is. It's the Breakdown Block with your boy T Money Holmes. We're on episode 5, breaking down Loki season 2, episode 5. Episode starts with the blinding light from the explosion of the loom fading out to reveal Loki still in the TVA, but this time he was alone again. So, due to the consequences of the loom explosion, Loki begins the episode by time slipping just like in episode 1. But this time, though, when he starts time slipping through different time periods, not just within the TVA. He starts time slipping through different time periods this time. And these weren't just random timelines he was going to. These end up being all the different friends that he's made throughout the series, all their different actual lives they've had going on. We find out that the helpful agent named Casey was an Alcatraz prisoner at one point. We find out Hunter B-15 was a doctor at one point. Mobius, surprisingly, was a single dad who unsurprisingly sold jet skis. And Ouroboros was a Caltech science professor who was a part-time sci-fi author. So when Loki approaches this version of Obi, he's not really buying all the time travel stuff until Loki ends up convincing him to take a copy of the TVA guidebook to analyze and study to prove that he wasn't a cuckoo bird, pretty much. This loom explosion seems to have reset to the point that they don't even remember who he is, any of his friends, except for Sylvie, who he tries to ask for to help him, but she wants nothing to do with it, of course, and goes back to her favorite 1980s timeline. When she goes and does that, right afterwards, the branch that Loki was in begins to spaghettify and disappear. And remember my note in the last episode about Doctor Strange 2, I think that has a lot to do with it, what the Scarlet Witch did, and Doctor Strange. So when Sylvie makes it back to her 80s timeline, she then enters her favorite record shop and speaks to the owner, who not only recognizes her as a regular, but he recommends a vinyl for her to sample. And the vinyl was from a popular 80s band called the Velvet Underground. And when she goes to sit down, the first song that she sampled was called Oh Sweet Nothing. And Oh Sweet Nothing, if you listen to it, pretty much symbolizes all the characters' fates and the bond her and the group share together facing all these heavy losses that they came across. So while Sylvie's sitting listening to her song in this record shop, everything behind her begins being spaghettified and destroyed literally right behind her, and she does not realize it till the last second possible. Sylvie then uses her temp pad device to quickly go meet up with Loki and the rest of the crew, only to find out that they're in their last seconds of their timeline as well. So Loki and Sylvie work on a plan, or at least try to, and as they are, everyone's disappearing. And by the time they actually go to make a decision, Sylvie starts disappearing as well. And I'm guessing due to Loki's panic and despair, something inside of him got triggered where he started unleashing some of his inner magic, which caused him to stop time. That he could use this magic not only to stop time, but to control it in general. And so after testing it out a little bit, he gets an idea to go back to the point where they were about to send Victor out to fix the temporal loom. Yeah, so now we're all the way back at that point. Giant loop. This has been another episode of the Breakdown Block. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Catch y'all on the next episode, episode 6, wrapping up Loki and moving on to the Marvels.